Ain't that what he be doing on the covers? Man, what a trip down memory lane. Over the last year, I've been referencing Pac Man World 2 quite a bit. I played the prequel last year, link in the description for that review.
I'm not even sure if I've ever played the original game, but I remember watching my brothers and parents play this when I was a kid, and I definitely remember the legendary sequel.
I wasn't sure if the sequel would be remade, but its aura was surely in the air. Pac Man World 2 was a big part of my gaming childhood. I have nostalgia for it because it was such an exceptional experience, especially for a platformer. I remember how big the levels were, the high amount of levels, the epic boss fights, the charming art style and music, the hub world full of life, and the Pac-Mania arcade game. All of my brothers and even my grandmother owned this game when I was a kid. But perhaps most importantly, I had some unfinished business. A young P34J wasn't really competent at most games, so both my grandmother and I had to rely on Big Bro to beat Spooky on our saves. Now that I'm a grown man, my experience level has obviously changed. I never got the chance to replay the original since like 2005, so I don't really have any recollection of jank or clunkiness. I mostly remember the positives. But since I'm older, will the gameplay hold up? What type of improvements will Re-Pac introduce? And will I finally put my boot on Spooky's neck? Yes, loads, and yes. Today, I'll be discussing gameplay, progression, art style, music, and the awesome boss fights, as well as some comparisons to the original game and the prequel remake. I'm P34J, and this is my review of Pac Man World 2 Re-Pac. Of course, a children's platformer like this won't have a deep story, but I get enough charm and nostalgia out of the intro. It's just as I remember. The ghosts start fooling around Pac Village, they pick the golden fruit, start juggling them, and out from below the golden tree appears Spooky, a powerful ghost from ancient times who threatens revenge against Pac Village. He recruits the ghosts and the Wormwood Tree to rain destruction across Pac-Land. Long ago, a Pac wizard used the golden fruit to empower a legendary Pac-Knight to trap Spooky under that tree. Now, it's up to Pac-Man to recover the golden fruit and stop Spooky once more. I do feel the original cutscenes feel a bit more cinematic, and I'm guessing the remake could have used motion blur, a shakier camera, and maybe some smoother animation to closer mirror the original. Maybe if they pre-rendered the cutscenes like what Blur Studios did for Halo 2 Anniversary, but that's just a small nitpick. The intro looks beyond beautiful in the updated graphics. Next, I'm reintroduced to Pac Village, and I spent quite some time just roaming the hub world in awe. I am infused with nostalgia. It looks just how I remember it, but with better graphics. Professor Pac is there to guide us. There's fruit to grab in different spots, and then there's the arcade, which features classic maze levels, classic Pac-Man games, the jukebox, and a new addition, the Gasaphon, a machine that lets you use tokens to unlock sets of figures, which you can display on a littering of podiums throughout Pac Village. Of course, the arcade no longer has Miss Pac-Man for obvious reasons, the rights, that sucks. There's also a new house for Trip. Yep, Pac-Man has skins this time around. To cap off my re-entry into this world, I walked into the first level, the bare basics, and then the music dropped. The main song I remember from the game, the whistle that has rung in my ear for the last year. At this moment, I knew adventure was back on the menu. The game's opening act introduced enough new while retaining the spirit of the original, a great precedent that will stick for the rest of the game. It is a true Re-Pac. but I wasn't prepared for the changes to come or how much I would enjoy them. Gameplay exceeded my expectations by 1.5 miles. The mechanics are mostly the same as the original, with the added Pac-Dot throw from the original Pac Man World and the float ability from Pac Man World Re-Pac. While the Pac-Dot throw still seems a bit niche, it was a little more convenient against the big Pac Bears and certain fodder and boss fights. The float mechanic becomes much more useful later in the game. You've got the butt bounce, rev roll, and the flip kick from the original Pac Man World 2. This time, you can flip kick without jumping. The super butt bounce can be executed by timing it at the peak of Pac-Man's jump, stunning nearby enemies and allowing him to reach higher heights. The enemies, geometry, and hazards do an excellent job of incorporating all these mechanics in a fun gameplay loop. The game becomes fairly challenging over time, but it's a fair challenge for the most part. I definitely got more of a challenge from this game than the prequel, and even that wasn't a walk in the park for me.
I gotta be honest, I'm not the best gamer in the world, so this may be a personal experience, and I'm kind of ashamed to admit it, but hey, no wonder they was published by the same company. Man, I died a boatload of times.
The camera angles and control feel as clean as a modern video game should throughout most of the game, minus a few levels. The 3D perspective works way better for me than 2.5D. The reticle for my fall destinations also helped quite the bit, even though I'm still trash. I'm still finding a way to die regardless.
Yeah.
Oh my god, man. Only me, man. Only me.
I always felt I had the proper amount of space to maneuver around the geometry, and that my deaths were solely due to my impatience. But it wasn't just a fair challenge that captivated me. It's the creativity seen across the levels that made traversing them such a pleasure. The bead-oing trampolines will never get old to me, especially the blue ones that send you extra high as you slowly fall to the next bounce destination, and the directional ones that fling you across the map. Even the first level requires you to super butt bounce to reach one of the fruits. The red Pac-Dot flight is another fun classic. The explosive pellet from the Re-Pac prequel is gone, but the metal pellet returns, giving you invulnerability and the weight needed to walk in water. Of course, I cannot forget to mention the return of
Mega Pac-Man!
Once again, he's crashing through the environment and can jump, but this time he doesn't even need the extended platforms to balance himself. Pac-Man is here with a vengeance to stop the Ghost's evil plot by any means necessary, and the dastardly cowards can do nothing to stop him. The only thing they fear is him. From elevators, sinking platforms, lightning strikes, avalanches, ice skating, to kicking back enemy projectiles, Pac Man World 2 Re-Pac has plenty of interesting mechanics to keep your attention. Exploration was done pretty well here. In the prequel, there was quite a bit of backtracking to open fruit chests and unlock doors. I feel I only had to backtrack for items in this game whenever I missed something, and that definitely helped with the game's pacing. Most extra items veer off the main path before leading you back in, a great way to help the player not miss things. But you still have to be observant to find certain collectibles. There might be a box right behind you at the start of the level, but you have to use your camera to catch it. I tried my best to look out for all the fruit for each level, but I still missed some. It hurt the most on the ice skating levels because you can't backtrack for far on those levels, so you have to break that box successfully the first time around. opening fruit chests require you to collect all of one fruit for a level. They contain extra lives, statues for the village, or classic style maze levels. This time around, you don't have to play them right then and there. They're accessible after the level in the arcade. You can also collect tokens for the gasathon. Of course, there are also wedges and extra lives to collect. One of the tree levels is a farm for extra lives, and that was good to rely on when I was running low. The game does a great job at giving you things to explore and reasons to replay levels. Those reasons would be unlockable content. I already talked about the classic mazes and statues, but if you complete all of the levels challenges, you can unlock costumes, arcade games, and gasathon slots. These challenges include collecting all of a level's fruit, defeating all enemies, defeating a boss without losing a life, or achieving a record time for the time trials by beating the level as quick as possible. Some of these challenges are fairly difficult, particularly collecting everything on a skating or the avalanche level, and beating some of the later bosses without dying. That I find myself still going back to the game after 30 hours is insane for a Pac-Man game, but given I grew up with it, I knew this was coming. Keep in mind, I'm saying this before the Sonic DLC is even dropped. They went above and beyond to add content to this game that enhances the experience. They even added a 2-player mode with the Pac Drone. Now while it's not very robust, it's a neat little addition. You can vacuum collectibles and stun enemies, and there were times where I felt it was a clutch convenience. Might make some of the challenges easier. Who expected to customize Pac Village with statues? Skins are a staple in games today, but I wasn't necessarily expecting that from a Pac-Man game. And there are loads of them, dozens of skins, and probably close to 100 figures. And don't forget the best part, at no additional cost. No microtransactions, just hella content to show love for the fans. The game only costs $30, and the only additional content available for purchase is the $10 Sonic DLC. The Toc-Man skin you get from buying the prequel is pretty cool as well. It's evident that the devs were focused on making a great game that respects and improves upon the original content. The user interface is not only simple, but also has been improved for the better. Of course, we gotta start off with that legendary start menu.
Waka 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 waka.
Who said that?
That was a hilarious addition. All the game's menus look simple but stylish. Great eye candy to fit the theme of the game, but not confusing or difficult to navigate like you've seen in a bunch of subscription services or first-person shooters these days. The map now branches out to each chapter, so you don't have to walk around for 3 years to get to the level you want. This was very helpful in getting to that lives farm in the Treetops chapter. Then you've got the sound design. As far as sound effects go, they're still pretty good, but I do prefer some of the original game sounds, specifically the beat-oing sound effects. I also wish the Pac-Dot eating sound effects were more present in the menus. While Pac Man World of Re-Pac didn't have voice acting like its original, this time Pac Man World 2 Re-Pac is mostly dubbed, even in places where the original wasn't. While it's mostly not a game-changing addition, I didn't really experience annoyance either. I could see how people could get annoyed at some corny lines.
Welcome to the party, Pac-Man! You see, I had a hunch that Pinky, Inky, and Clyde wouldn't be able to beat ya. But I ain't like them, so here's the deal. I challenge you to a music battle. Let's see you roll with some soul, cause I'm about to unleash a beat that'll knock you off your feet.
Hey, this is so corny.
And Pac-Man being voiced for all of his in-game actions.
Here we go! Eat 'em all! Mega Pac-Man!
But it really didn't bother me. What's awesome to me is that Pac-Man's voice actor here is Martin T. Sherman, the man that voiced him in Pac Man World 3, a game I've never played but have always wanted to. Hopefully that gets repacked. Honestly, I think I prefer Spooky's voice actor here over the original. Better dialogue as well. The music and art style is charming, nostalgic, and faithful to the original. They capture that feeling of innocent adventure exceptionally. I will say I like the original art style better for the final chapter. Looks much darker, more ominous, and terrifying. The purple liquid here gives a more cartoony vibe, but it's down to preference. The lightning in the new levels is wicked though. This game is presented very well, and it respects the version that came before. It is a true Re-Pac. Now it's time for the main plot of the game, retrieving the golden fruit to stop Spooky. It's boss battle time. Okay, I said this last time because I was ass. This time I'm being sincere. They turned this shit into Pac Souls. I did not expect a total reworking of all the bosses, but that's what we got here. Killer Frog makes a return, but the rest of the ghosts now also have animal-themed machines instead of ghost mechs. Killer Frog is an improvement on what's already here. You still have to butt bounce on his tongue. Oh, bruh. Oh, ooh. Yeah, that sounded more provocative than I intended. No freaky. But this time, there are explosive barrels you can lead him into eating to stun him. Now all the bosses have second stages with the ghost absorbing the golden fruit. This time, you have to rev roll into the frog's mouth while avoiding the fodder and even more attacks. Not too difficult of a boss, but taking down Clyde was an effective introduction to the game's reworked bosses. That's another good change the game makes. Clyde and Blinky are given their correct names, because the original Pac Man World 2 switched them around. There are all kinds of interesting mechanics displayed with the bosses, and the difficulty goes up along the way. Inky throws a bunch of projectiles at you with an owl. Pinky chases you down in a blizzard with a bear, and you have to deflect green bombs back at her with a flip kick, just like the Pac Bears and the balloons. But my favorite ghost fight was against Blinky in the Caldera. He has a spider mech that plays a drum set and shoots lava, webs, musical notes, and lasers at you, all while spiders spawn, and you can kill them to recover health. Plus the music is a rock rendition of the original fight's music. This fight kicks ass. It was a fair challenge as well. The submarine fight had 3 stages, and it's one of the hardest fights in the game. The Pac Marine does feel good to move around to avoid the metal shark's attacks. Thankfully, you checkpoint at the start of the 3rd stage. Wormwood didn't stand out too much to me as a boss fight, but it's some decent fun. You had to use power pellets to eat ghosts and press buttons to down the shields and damage the jealous brother of the golden fruit tree. More of a mini boss or a field boss if you ask me. But after Wormwood is taken down, it's time to save his brother and all of Pac-Land. I must pick up where I left off and defeat the man I couldn't beat when I was a child. The final boss, Spooky. Similar to Toc-Man in the prequel, this feels like a brawl, but not as much since Spooky summons skeletons, projectiles, and lightning while moving across the board and occasionally meleeing you. The goal is to close the gap and flip kick him. Once again, you can beat fodder to recover your health. Second stage, he multiplies. The game rewards those with a high IQ and an observant eye, or maybe just those with common sense because I'm an idiot, because you can eliminate the clones on hit and damage the real one with the black design. I'm dumb, so I needed the game to tell me this. Electric Circle aside, this is probably his easiest stage, but on the 3rd, he absorbs the golden fruit and grows. The giant sends hella projectiles and raises rocks from the ground, which you can traverse up by accurately timing the super butt bounce. I had trouble traversing the platforms because of this proper timing and the 2.5D camera angle while climbing the rocks, which is also killing me in the prequel. Ultimately, I was able to bury my failures from my childhood and defeat this monster once and for all.
Oh yeah, that hit the spot! The last lap will be mine, Spooky.
That despicable form! I'll bury you in the golden fruit for good!
Wait a minute, that voice inflection sounds familiar. Is that a death ball? No way.
Damon Mills. No way. No way. Hold on. No way. Damon Mills, bro, the voice of Frieza played. Oh, that's crazy. No way. I had to double check that. I knew it was a voice of Frieza. I just wanted to double check.
I knew it! No wonder I like the voice actor for Spooky this time around. That's Damon Mills, the current English dub voice actor for Frieza. It shows that he's an understudy of the legendary Christopher Ayers, as you can hear shades of his signature take on the evil Galactic Emperor's voice, even though he's playing a different character.
I'm weak. I know I was gonna get a quick time event.
Pac-Man has successfully defeated Spooky. The village is restored. The people celebrate. The dog gets his fill.
It was a good try, but Spooky didn't stand a chance. Uh-oh! I think we better skedaddle!
He caught one. He caught a body. The dog caught a body. I'm weak. The dog caught a up.
And Pac-Land is once again safe. I am fulfilled as after 23 years, I have finally beaten Pac Man World 2.
What?
What's this? Hold on. Is that more content? Or is that a prelude to Pac Man World 3?
Whoa!
What's this?
Huh?
What
happened to the village? All right, now then, where'd those two get off to?
What the hell? Oh my god! I didn't beat the game! I didn't beat the game! Oh! You can't be serious right now. I gotta get off of here now. I gotta get off. Cause I've been playing all day. Bruh. Do I consider this an expansion? It's an expansion for sure. But this motherfucker got an expansion, bruh. This game got an expansion. Are you serious? Are you serious? Hey. Bruh, no. No, bruh. Bruh, the game got an expansion, bruh. They didn't even... Bruh. Ain't no way. This game got a whole expansion.
Get the fuck out of here. No way y'all actually just did that. Y'all dropped an expansion day one for a Pac-Man game? Holy hell. I damn sure didn't see this coming. When they mentioned expanded levels, I thought they was talking about the Sonic DLC. I was low-key salty because I spent like 6 hours beating 75% of the base game in one day just to get hit with this. Amazing. A moment I'll never forget. The Pac-Knight Era offers more challenging versions of one level from each chapter plus all the bosses from the base game. The first level now has poisonous goo and has been upgraded beyond the original completion point. Pro Thunder Skater Remix is one of the ice levels with electric gates. The bosses have all new attacks and mechanics. And why the fuck is the music that hard? Pro Thunder Skater is hands down the best song in the entire game. I told y'all this was packed souls. More skins, more figures, more music, more Gasifon slots. This expansion is packed. This is where the game kicks into another gear. Like fuck a remake at this point. We're in great game territory now. I'm not just recommending this game to those who've played in the past for nostalgia. I'm recommending this to platformer players who haven't played the original as well, or even just gamers who are looking to switch things up and chill, because there's some good stuff in here. I mean, I'm not that experienced of a platform player myself, but I know good when I see it, and this is great. Of course, it wasn't no chill for me against the expansion bosses. They all rolled me up in a Re-Pac, particularly the final boss, Spooky.
Pac-Boy! Paxis! Hold on, I'm coming!
Dad, help us!
Dang it, Spooky! Let them go!
When was the last time you heard somebody say dang it? This game got some goofy dialogue. This time around, Spooky operates on broken platforms, and you have to time your jumps to avoid lightning and meteors. You can also weave your way around the lightning on a platform. You have to avoid fodder and eliminate them for health when necessary. I thought I had to jump at a certain angle to avoid his melee, but apparently you can just stand right under him without jumping. Would have helped a lot first go around. Second stage he multiplies again, but this time goes in a steady circle instead of expanding. The float ability came in handy here. The later boss fights in general did a great job in making all the mechanics useful. Unlike the base game version, this is actually the hardest of his 3 stages. Stage 3, he grows and absorbs the golden fruit again, but this time you're on broken platforms. The thunder is harder to dance around. He tries to squash you like a bug, and he shoots lasers at you. It can be quite easy to avoid his attacks unless skeletons spawn to impede you, and they will.
No! Oh my god, I delete this game, bruh. Because he had a minion block me. Are you serious? He had a minion physically block me.
But I survived to beat the super butt bounce rock climb, defeat Spooky once more, rescue the kids, and save the ancient Pac-Land. As I trapped Spooky under the golden fruit tree and saved this bygone era, the realization may not have hit Pac-Man, but it hit me. Pac-Man is the Pac-Knight. As Pac-Boy and Pac-Sis are safe and sound, Pac-Village has nothing to fear. But then a paper falls from the sky. An invitation to Ghost Island? This seems familiar. There's a secret and third final boss.
And his name is John C.
And it's none other than Toc-Man.
You broke the last straw, Pac-Man. Put up your dukes. I'll tear you to bits right here, right now.
Jeez, calm down, Toc-Man. I mean, what did I do to you? I thought we agreed to let bygones be bygones.
Huh, guess that confirms that the good ending from the prequel is canon. I thought he learned his lesson the first time. Well, he definitely learned something. New tricks. He's the hardest boss in the game. Even on a repeat playthrough to beat the challenges, he took just about as long to beat as he did the first time. And we're talking at least 3 hours here. They pull no punches on the expanded levels. It's a great boss fight that makes you use everything in Pac-Man's kit to eke out a victory over 3 grueling stages. And I never realized you can jump over the thrown axe. Again, would have made things much easier. The triple rocket barrage he fires in his second stage can be pretty hard to avoid if the first one is accurate. But if he turns away from you, it's practically a free hit. But Pac-Man prevails and once again takes Toc-Man down.
About time, bro. Oh my god, bro.
Pac-Man, you won't get away with this.
Hey, don't be a sore loser. You've been beat fair and square. Let's stop with the fighting, okay? What good does this do either one of us?
You blackguard! Traitor!
I'm still lost. What are you even talking about?
I heard you had a real blast at your birthday party, so much that you forgot to invite me!
My birthday party? What are you talking about? I did send you an invitation. You're the one who didn't show up. We were all waiting for you.
What? Hey! Someone! I'm out of TP! Oh, don't tell me that was the...
Why is he using a toilet with the suit on? He might as well have just wore DPNs. Like me. Once again, Pac-Man and Toc-Man make up as friends. I was going to make a whole separate video for the Sonic DLC, but it's pretty short, so I can put it in this video. But that's not an insult to it either, because they packed this DLC with quality content. It's funny because this is supposed to be a Pac-Man game and a Sonic skin, but it honestly kind of feels like a Sonic game and a Pac-Man skin. The way the levels are, it's very true to what Sonic games were. I've never finished a Sonic game from front to back, but I've seen enough to know this is kind of how it feels. They've got a bunch of classic Sonic tropes like the circular platforms. They've got the speed boost, the classic trampolines. You can collect all the red wheels to get different stuff like music. It's like 2 other collectibles as well, but these have got to be some of the longest levels in the entire game. We're talking like volcano level long. We're talking about like Pac-Knight Era level length. And then we get to the final boss, Dr. Eggman. Robotnik was a blast to fight. He has 3 stages. All 3 stages feel pretty unique. He might be the best boss in the game. He's not the hardest because you can easily exploit the health system. With the wedges being gone and our health now being based on the Sonic coins, you can easily just grab like 1 coin at a time, because as long as you have 1 coin, you don't die if you get hit. So you can easily just grab 1 coin at a time and save the rest, which is an excellent strategy for his last stage. Grab a coin, hold on to that coin, and when it disappears, grab the next one. Trying to avoid his attacks, you're probably going to run into more coins than you want, but it's still an easily exploitable system. I beat him. I kept using a reset system, like restart a checkpoint. I was down to my last life, so I didn't want to die to him and then have to go to the 1 level in the base game and try to farm lives in the treetops. I'm cool on that. I want him dead. I really do like this 3rd stage. He's got elevation. It's just real unique compared to everything else you see in the game. It's got elevation. He's giant. He's breaking platforms. It's a fight. And then the cutscene in the end where Sonic shows up to help Pac-Man. I like the little detail that Pac-Man isn't as fast as Sonic, so he needs assistance. Sonic has to grab his hand in order to beat Robotnik. Eggman down. Game is beat. Awesome DLC. It was worth the $10. I only have a short list of criticisms here. Freeing the camera up for Pac-Man in the swimming levels was cool, but the camera and movement still feel a bit clunky. About the only part of the game that didn't feel fully polished. I already mentioned I liked the last chapter's art style better in the original, as well as my wish for some of the OG sound effects. I don't think this is a game where enemies should have iframes on spawn. There's so many of them, spawn camper 1 won't make an unbalanced difference. Surprisingly, I've got a few lore criticisms. I know it's just a Pac-Man game, but I am a nitpicky asshole at the end of the day. First, the lore states that the Pac-Knight used the power of the golden fruit to defeat Spooky. So while it makes sense that we don't get to play as Golden Pac-Man in the base game, they still should have shown at least a cutscene of Golden Pac-Knight like they did in the base game. Second, why is Orson referring to the ghost in 3rd person?
You even invited the ghosts! The ghosts! Why not me?
This ties into him wearing the suit on the can. I hope they're not trying to retcon Toc-Man's true identity. I don't think they are, because you can beat all of Toc-Man's boss fight challenges to earn the Orson skin. But the scene, while funny, was confusing. Very short list of criticisms here, as to be expected from a great game. Pac Man World 2 Re-Pac transcends being simply a faithful remake and becomes a great game in general by adding a hefty helping of content that enhances the experience while paying proper homage to the original game at a wallet-friendly cost without milking the player. The platforming is creative, the controls are great, and the reimagined boss battles are amazing. The music will ring in my head anew for years to come. Pro Thunder Skater's OST is absolute fire. It felt great to finally finish an endeavor that I set out for over 20 years ago. I hope I've made my big brother proud. Should probably hit him up and ask him. Now that I've shut down Spooky, Blinky, and the gang, I have some other ghosts to attend to. This is P34J. Eat 'em all up. Have a good one.